saw some interesting stuff. And so what I will tell you is that footage, the fact that it was dead drop to Burleson, I'm certain that there's more of where that comes from. And we are going to push for the declassification of stuff that we've seen, because I think the American people deserve to see it. But I think, you're never going to have the U.S. government admit or try to explain something if it's also somewhat not specifically pertaining to national defense. So if it's not tech that we've made not involving a foreign government, I think that you're going to see a direct statement from that. What's interesting, and I kind of went into this with Joe Rogan, is when we were talking to some of the witnesses, they don't call them extraterrestrial. They call them interdimensional. There's also this aspect of these things defying physics as we know it. And then you look into texts that were removed from the Bible, like the Book of Enoch, that actually specifically address technologies, if you will, that were given to mankind or of entities not of human origin, non-human intelligence. So these are all things to consider when addressing the topic. But based on what I've seen, not speculating, based on the evidence that I've seen, there's something out there. And based on what I'm saying is it's not. I think that it's along the lines of that video that you just saw.
Have they shown you? Okay, so
I have to be careful, because I could get in trouble if I divulge what I've been shown in a skiff. So what I can tell you is I'm just telling you, as me not specifically addressing skiff stuff, that they're real. And I'm not the only one. You just saw the Secretary of State in a documentary addressing the same thing. I know it's a mind loop, right? But Pinellas County, where I specifically represent, there's actually a high number of these reported sightings. But it's not just there. A lot of the members on the task force or that gavel into this, first of all, it's bipartisan and bicameral. We've had pretty much everyone's circulated at one point, right, through task questions and whatnot. But members in Alaska, the member of Alaska specifically has a lot of reports of this. People that, represent these areas, when you get calls to the office, I've seen a lot of kooky stuff too that I know it's crazy, provably false. That's AI, CGI, whatever. But then you have the stuff that you can't explain. And then you have the attacks on the witnesses that come forward to testify, which if it wasn't real, why would you try to be discrediting someone? Why is the Department of the VA leaking people's records to the press if it's not real, right? It's if if you're being told not to look under that rock, you might look under the rock. And so that actually happened to David Grush when he came forward to testify.
Presented to Congress. The classified report apparently discussed energy pulse propulsion systems. Familiar with the classified UAP Task Force report presented to Congress. The classified report apparently discussed energy pulse propulsion systems, ion propulsion systems, anti-gravity propulsion systems, antimatter propulsion systems, ramjet hydrogen propulsion systems, compressed nuclear propulsion systems, and advanced uses of exotic elements for energy research dealing with recovered non-human technologies. According to Dolan's source, these highly classified projects were spearheaded by DARPA, the Defense Advanced Research Project Agency, and managed by a classified group called Advanced Group 6. This source stated all funding for these projects are black budget confidential funds, and some come from private contractors themselves, aka what we spoke about earlier, IRAD. prototyping of these crafts utilizing the above technology, including platforms leveraging exotic non-human materials.
Coast of Virginia Beach, two F-18 Super Hornets were split by a UAP. The object, described as a dark gray or a black cube inside of a clear sphere, came within 50 feet of the lead aircraft and was estimated to be 5 to 15 feet in diameter. The mission commander terminated the flight immediately and returned to base. Our squadron submitted a safety report, but there was no
During the course of our investigation today, we have already talked so much about Lockheed Skunk Works, also known as the Advanced Development Programs Division, infamously regarded for its highly classified efforts to develop some absolutely stunning aircraft, aerospace, and national security technologies. Such platforms include the F-117 Nighthawk, SR-71 Blackbird, U-2 spy plane, F-35 Lightning II, F-22, and much more. Skunk Works operating
apenas dejé de transmitir. Apenas dejé de transmitir. Y me vine a acostar.